Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you've all had a great weekend. Coming back, there's no portal glowing. Don't worry though, it will be happening tomorrow. I didn't do a video talking about the 15x stuff because honestly, it's just really not worth going for 15x unless you have a specific champion you want and you have a lot of shards or you're very close to Mercy. Other than that, with fusions coming up, needing to summon for that, needing to summon for Deck of Fates, all these other events, I think shards are just 100% better saved for those events. So I didn't even touch on that. But hope you all had a great weekend. If you've been working on any Hydra stuff, let me know if you maybe set a new personal best, something along those lines. I'm always interested in learning about what you guys are discovering. Now, as far as the Hell Hades Optimizer goes, this is currently Hydra Rotation 2. My team should actually be loaded into this now, the one I just now ran today. But I heard the Hell Hades and the team reset this earlier so that old Hydra teams don't show up, which is huge because those ones showing up really skewed the results. But let's go to exclude manual teams. That is my goal. My goal when I do these videos and share with you all is to not show the manual team, not to do manual teams at all, just to do full auto. And ideally, I walk away full auto so that if you're watching this and you have these champions, you can literally just plug them in and run it. And you should get very similar results to what I got, which just so happens my team is the top team so far, which is great. I love for my account champions, I love to have the top team based on other players who use the optimizer. That's always my goal. I can just strive for that place. Now, this team may not be accessible to you. That's okay. I want to go through some teams that you could use, some things that I learned, and I'm also going to do some videos soon talking about brutal and hard. Before I get in talking about that team that I actually ran, I want to showcase a team that I was doing really well with. It's kind of like Little Caesars though. It's hot and fast. Like this team does a lot of damage quickly, but it can blow itself up very quickly as well. Now, when we go through this team, at the very end, it actually fails at 380,000. This was also full auto. However, I ran it probably 20 more times, and it would fail at 20 million, 30 million, 50 million, 180 million, 200 million, 120 million. It would be very, very inconsistent. I don't like that. I don't like doing a video on that. If you want to manually target stuff, that's fine. The team that I actually ran would be far better if I was manually targeting, but I don't want to do manual stuff. I just want to run it full auto, walk away, good to go. So this team ran 380 million, Thorion, Padrig, Lydia, Trunda, Archer, and Shamail. But the team that I'm going to be showcasing and talking about today, the one that I'll probably be running week to week, though next week I may actually do some manual targeting myself because Duchess, she has some issues. I'm not going to lie. She has some serious issues. Watch who she targets. Of all the heads she could target, tell me which one would be the worst for her to hit. Other champions have Veil. She does not place Veil on herself. She targets, just wait for it, the head that'll give her fear. Just wait. Okay, whoa, she actually didn't do that. I'm actually amazed. Let's fast forward this. Actually, no, it's not even fast forward it. Watch this Duchess. Watch what she does. I can guarantee it. She's going to hit the head of Torment over there because she's just dumb. Her AI is so incredibly dumb. I don't understand how it's so bad that she consistently targets the head of Torment. So if you're going to manual this, it's far better. But if you're going to run it on full auto, just know that she's going to be hitting the head of Torment a lot. For some reason, she's actually going for the Poison Cloud head, which is awesome. But man, I can't tell you how many times I've seen her just throw an A1 into the head of Torment. It's not doing anything. And then she gets feared. Which, with the new Hydra version, where the heads come back with Serpent's Will, you have the decapitated head you can actually work down. If you're destroying these, you need to be prepared for every single head because everyone's going to come back. Whereas the old Hydra versions, you didn't have to worry about that as much because decapitated heads stayed dead longer, you sunk more damage into them, but now you have to know, hey, the head of Torment, I got to deal with that. The head of Suffering, every single head there is, I have to have an answer for that. Provoke, Hex, HP Burn, block buffs, Veil or Inquisitor Shamail have all become much more important. So for some reason, Duchess is not showcasing how dumb she is right now. Here we go. Let's see if she does it. Okay, well, a miracle's happening, and for some reason, she's not targeting the head. Let's take it back to the beginning of the fight, where I know for sure she does this. But for some reason, when I'm showing you guys, she's not doing it. Maybe that's why it was a successful run. All right, she's not doing it. I cannot tell you how many times I saw her do this. But then when I'm actually trying to showcase it, she's just refusing to hit the head of Torment, which is good, and I'm glad that she actually didn't do that. I don't know what conditions cause her to do this, but if you have Duchess, I'm sure you've seen it. Also, Trunda, it's great to manual her A2, or at least manually target, click the heads. I didn't do that at all. This is 100% walk away. There we go. Finally, Duchess. You hit that head. Yeah, you killed it. Okay, well, the one time she actually hits it, she actually did something important, but just trust me on this. If you have Duchess, she'll target this head pretty often for no reason, for a reason unbeknownst to me. Now, as far as this team's setup, let's take a look at the champions. This will be the actual Hydra stats they have with the bonuses and everything. Duchess is in now 9-piece protection. She was not in that, but I got enough points to actually get the top Hydra personal class chest, which is incredible, 1.2 billion points. I got 1.5 billion for that team, so I was able to pick up those points, and I got a protection accessory that I was missing. So it's awesome. So now she's in 9-piece protection. Before this, she was in 7-piece protection and just pretty fast. So now 9-piece protection, she's gonna be much better next week. Athorion, he is in 6-piece merciless. I should have done this a second priority probably, but it's okay. He probably prioritizes that anyways. If not, actually I may compare the damage next week and see which one's better. But he is 266. He is in 6-piece merciless. If you don't have that, 9-piece slayer could be amazing for him. My slayer is kind of trash for high elves, but 9-piece slayer, 6-piece or even 9-piece merciless is really good. Cupidus, I just have his A3 turned off. He's in 9-piece slayer. I kind of want him to be even higher because he did quite a bit of damage. I'll showcase the damage after I showcase these champions. This I could turn to priority number 1. I don't know if it really matters though. Krisk, he is in curse set. He's actually built pretty well. Curse set, good speed. He doesn't do increased speed to himself. And I notice I still need increased speed as well as decreased speed somewhat. His decreased speed isn't super consistent, so the increased speed he gives to everybody is very helpful. 277, plenty of resistance and good accuracy. We have Venus. Venus is amazing because she brings a strip, which in this run, since you have so many damage dealers, one of the biggest problems is going to be reflect damage. Reflect damage is going to be what kills your champions more often than anything else, basically. Because you have Cupidus, who hits pretty hard, Athorion, who has max HP hits. We have Trunda, who hits really hard. But you just saw Venus there. She actually she removes this reflect damage, which is huge. So that reflect damage is something that can 100% shut your run down way faster than it should be. Like Trunda is probably about to do her A2 or A3. Yeah, there we go. Small hit, probably a weak hit, but it could very well have killed her. So having Venus is very good, and I actually turned this to the second priority just so she can be using it pretty often. HP burn is also very important. It synergizes with Trunda very well now. So we have the decreased defense and weaken, HP burn, plus the remove, plus Cupidus is going to be counterattacking whenever Venus is on the team. So overall, excellent synergy there. And then Trunda brings even more synergy. So Trunda is going to have her speed increased by 5 for each enemy under HP burn, which doesn't matter who places it. So Trunda's getting benefits from Venus, not really any benefits from Cupidus because he has low accuracy. Not for sure why he has that much resistance though. That's kind of silly. But either way, Trunda's getting benefit from Venus, and she is going to be placing her HP burn as well. I have some accuracy on her so that she can get this attack boost, which is huge. We want the 50% attack boost without a doubt. So definitely build her with accuracy. Now, Trunda is not nearly as broken as before, at least in this setup. Of course not. But she's also not required for this team. If I got Marius, I think Marius would be a better champion than Trunda for this team, and possibly like quite a bit. Like you can see in Velocio's team, Marius does a lot of damage, like 233, and Trunda did 304. But Marius also gives himself increased defense, which is huge. So once I get him, eventually, then I'll go ahead and put him in this team and probably just do a 1-to-1 swap for Trunda. But he does increased defense and increased accuracy, reduces the duration of some enemy buffs, pretty low cooldown, so I think he'd be really good for this team, honestly. But for Trunda, the overall damage that was dealt, I told you guys I'd show you this, so let me just fast forward this to the end. There we go. 375 million, 100% full auto, walked away, came back, it was done. It could have been better if I sat there and babysat it, but I didn't really want to do that. Next week, I probably will, just to try to get Trunda to target the correct heads. Now, Athorion did 123. Cupidus did 70 million, which was very difficult, actually, to find a damage dealer who was even close to Trunda and Athorion. And Cupidus actually did surprisingly well. 70 million damage. Krisk has Hex. Venus did 19 million, which is actually pretty good as well, honestly. And then Trunda doing 125. So Duchess, I could put her over into War Master. I may or may not do that. Honestly, it's probably fine where she's at. It may be an extra 2 or 3 million. I don't really care. As far as the masteries for these champions go, in case you're curious on building this stuff, Trunda's there. I may change her gear, but honestly, I think there's other options I could use instead of Trunda. Well, specifically Marius. We still have Helm Smasher. I have her in these Masteries. These are the artifacts that I have her in. Skills, we have Nature's Wrath. I believe Nature's Wrath is a little bit better than Crushing Rend. Haven't tested it a ton yet, but since she's landing these debuffs, it should be a little bit better. We have Venus in Relentless plus Merciless. Maybe too many turns, I'm not for sure. Maybe worth testing, but honestly, I don't really care that much. She did great, she performed excellent, so I may just leave it as it is. Krisk is in Cursed. Get some revenge, retaliation stuff if you can. Just some more counterattacks. We have Lightning Cage. I was hoping it to maybe make him take more hits from the Head of Mischief. I don't know if it changes that much anyways, though. But give him an extra buff was essentially the idea. Cupidus is right here. Helm Smasher. Where's his resistance coming from? Why would I not have a attack banner? That'd be sick if I did. Obviously, I don't have an attack banner to give to him. But I really wish I had one. Now, accuracy may be worth throwing on him. I don't know why he has so much resistance, though. Where is this coming from, dude? What are you doing, man? I did go Speed Boots, which may be worth looking into getting attack percentage boots on him instead, just because he's going to be attacking a lot anyways. My Obero uses those attack boots. An extra 700 attack is quite a bit. This is an extra 1,200 attack, which I'm going to have to see if I use Obero much and how well she performs, but getting Cupidus to this would definitely make him hit a lot harder. Also, with Duchess having these protection accessories now, really, really good stuff. Krisk, I'm not going to give him a 9-piece protection. Just really wouldn't be worth it for me. Getting Venus into something like, what is it? Feral could be really good, but it'd be 9-piece Feral. And Relentless may be better. I mean, she gets an extra turn chance from the A3 ability, so Feral may not do anything, but the extra 5% damage per debuff, she would be adding an extra 15% damage. Decreased defense, weaken, and HP burn. So extra 15% damage, which could be awesome. But if I'm doing a max HP team, then the only person benefit would be Cupidus. Trunda will benefit now, but in the future, if I switch her out for Marius, wouldn't be as much of a benefit. Athorion is in Merciless, which is awesome. 6-piece there. I hope it's 6-piece unless it changed. Okay, we're good. We're good. And everything's booked. No blessings. If I had a blessing, it'd be probably... honestly, probably Nature's Wrath at high level. Yeah, probably that. Lower level probably just be Cruelty, just to help support the rest of the team a little bit more. But yeah, that's him. So the team was super simple. It's literally just set it, walked in, turned it on. I was actually upstairs, used TeamViewer, accessed it away from the PC, turned it on, and then walked away. Fast forward a little bit, no heads clicked, nothing like that. Came back, and the team did 380 million. Not the most free-to-play friendly team, but hey, it's full auto. The idea behind the teams, though, and the little bit different approach I've taken is you have to make sure that you're addressing every head. Whereas before, that wasn't as much of a requirement because you could kind of cheese through the Head of Torment, just kind of hope it didn't respawn. But now you're going to get it, and you're going to get it a lot because of downing these heads and popping them and getting the decapitated ones back up. This was just too much to handle. So I didn't quite go to the 1,000 turn limit. I was very close, but these bars were just too high. But when you're popping the decapitated heads, they're coming back as a new head, and they're going to take a turn. So you have to have answers for the Poison Cloud. You have to have answers for reflect damage. You have to have answers for the Head of Decay. You have to have answers that can be accessed pretty quickly. You can't have super long cooldowns. It feels like you need to move fairly quick, but you also can't go too fast, because if you go too fast, then you're just sinking tons of damage into 100% damage mitigation. If you wanted to manual it, you could juggle the heads and like have 2 come back at the same time, but honestly, I'm not that interested in that. Maybe make a big difference in the damage, but over the course of my 3 teams, I should do pretty well. And in this clash, we're doing very well, honestly. So with the changes to Trunda, I've still seen Trunda performing very, very high, which if she's doing, 4 or 5 billion is not nearly as bad as her doing, 100 billion plus. So it does bring her down to a closer level. We just need a little bit more time to see how far people actually push her. But so far, these numbers look far better. These are far more competitive numbers, and I like seeing that a lot more. So maybe these changes worked out for the best. I just know that Trunda is still on the top. But I don't care about her being on the top as long as it's not massively above everybody else. That was the biggest issue the whole time, right? Like, nobody was even a 10th of Trunda's damage. It wasn't even comparable. So now if they brought her down, and everybody's closer, that's okay. However, the thing I still don't like is the fact that a lot of players who were getting these chests for now, they no longer can because the Hydra has gotten more difficult. So it's kicked people out from earning these, which is a huge deal, a very significant issue. And same thing with these chips. I mean, I would hope that this wasn't dropped for anybody. Like you weren't getting this before and now you're not getting it. Could be the case, but hopefully it's not. Over here would probably be more likely is that before maybe you were able to hit the 650 million and now you can't. So it still sucks. I wish they would adjust these points down a little bit. It doesn't really affect me, but it does affect that the mid-game players who are just breaking into Hydra and starting to push teams. Those players who are like just on the cusp of getting the next tier of rewards or just broke into it, those players are the ones being affected by this stuff. But I want to share this team with you guys in case you had these champions, in case you had this team. It's a very solid damage dealing team, full auto, and maybe something that works for you. I'm going to do my brutal and hard. Those videos should be shorter, just more like just a showcase of the teams. And yeah, those should be coming out very soon. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all. Enjoy your week. Hopefully y'all have great success in CVC, and I catch you in the next one.